Do you believe the vicious lies and false narratives about asylum seekers? Anti-immigrant politicians spread dangerous myths about asylum seekers to score political points. Right-wing media outlets amplify xenophobic narratives, claiming immigrants are violent criminals who eat pets and take over American towns. They're changing the fabric of America in an undesirable way, we're told. And it's all facilitated by a corrupt asylum system that makes it too easy for these grifters to stay in the country. These and various other lies and myths have real consequences, from physical attacks on immigrants to policies that tear families apart. Let's separate fact from fiction, because these asylum seekers, many of them fleeing for their lives and determined to contribute positively to American society, deserve much better. I'm going to reveal 8 common myths about asylum seekers and the asylum process in America, and we're starting right now. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And listen, I'd especially like to hear from you. If you've been waiting for an asylum interview with USCIS for multiple years, let me know in the comments how long you've been waiting. Politicians and media personalities have built their careers spreading lies about asylum seekers, that they're violent criminals who destroy communities and abuse America's generosity. They say our asylum system is to blame for letting these people gain a foothold in the country. Harmful asylum myths not only fuel hatred and violence against immigrant communities, but they also make it harder for people fleeing persecution to find the safety they desperately need. So let's look at the truth behind these dangerous narratives. All right, asylum myth number 1. Asylum seekers are a threat to the safety of our communities. You hear this all the time from politicians trying to stoke fear. This narrative is absolutely false. Here's the truth. Asylum seekers undergo incredibly rigorous security screening. We're talking multiple layers of both biometric and biographic checks at various stages. And the data destroys this myth completely. Studies consistently show that immigrants, including asylum seekers, are actually less likely to be convicted of crimes than US-born citizens. Let me give you some concrete numbers. So the Department of Justice says US-born citizens are more than twice as likely to be arrested for violent crimes compared to undocumented immigrants. And US-born citizens are 2.5 times more likely to be arrested for drug crimes and over 4 times more likely to be arrested for property crimes. According to research from the Cato Institute, undocumented immigrants in Texas were 37% less likely to be convicted of a crime than US-born citizens. And across all types of crime and immigration status categories, immigrants in Texas are up to 60% less likely to be incarcerated than people born in the United States. Okay. Myth number 2, winning asylum is easy. The anti-immigrant crowd would have you believe that a migrant can just show up and say, "May I please have asylum?" and get it automatically. Listen, this couldn't be further from the truth. Let me tell you from my experience as a former asylum officer. The process is incredibly rigorous. You must prove that you have a well-founded fear of persecution based on very specific grounds: race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. The standard is high. Approval rates are low. Between June 2023 and June 2024, less than 48% of asylum cases were approved in immigration court, and that's for people lucky enough to have a lawyer. Approval rates are about half as high for people without an attorney. The asylum offices have even lower approval rates than the immigration courts. Nationally, asylum office approval rates are under 30%. The New York Asylum Office had an approval rate under 8%, according to the most recent publicly available data. Okay, asylum myth number 3. Asylum seekers are an economic burden. This talking point gets repeated endlessly by anti-immigrant politicians, but it's completely false. A recent Department of Health and Human Services study found that asylum seekers and refugees contributed a positive fiscal impact of nearly $124 billion over a 15-year period. Asylum seekers pay taxes and contribute to society in manifest ways. Undocumented immigrants paid an estimated $96 billion in federal, state, and local taxes in 2022. On average, this amounts to almost $9,000 in taxes paid per undocumented immigrant. They also fill labor gaps, taking jobs that few Americans are interested in, particularly in sectors like agriculture, construction, and food preparation. Okay, asylum myth number 4, asylum seekers can immediately work legally here and live in the United States forever. I hear this all the time, and it's just not true. The reality is that asylum seekers must wait at least 150 days after filing their asylum applications before they can even apply for a work permit. And the work permit goes away after an asylum case runs its course, and people who don't meet the high standards for asylum will eventually get deported. Next up, myth number 5. Asylum seekers choose wealthy countries like the United States just for the benefits. The truth, nobody chooses to be an asylum seeker. People flee their homes because of war, persecution, and violence. And in fact, 75% of the world's displaced people seek protection in low-income countries, not wealthy nations. Yes, there are some fraudulent asylum claims with people drawn to the United States' strong economy, but from my time, both as an asylum officer and now as an asylum lawyer, that's the exception, not the norm. Most asylum seekers are truly fleeing grave harm and need protection. All right, myth number 6. Asylum seekers don't show up for court hearings. They just apply for asylum, get their work permit, and are never heard from again, so we're told. Listen, the data tells a different story. Almost 89% of non-detained asylum seekers attended every single court hearing. Think about it. Why would someone go through the difficult process, and dangerous process often, of seeking asylum only to skip their court date? They want to work toward permanent status here, which requires presenting and winning their asylum claim. All right, myth number 7. Seeking asylum is just a way to bypass proper immigration procedures. The idea is that these folks need to just get in line and do it the right way if they want to come to America. But this betrays a fundamental misunderstanding of both asylum law and the reality faced by people fleeing persecution. When your life is in danger, you can't wait years for a visa to be processed. International law recognizes this by establishing asylum as a fundamental human right that transcends normal immigration procedures. To be clear, there exists under US law the right to seek asylum here. Also, because of how US immigration law is structured, there usually is no line available to most people. You just don't have the option of coming here through other means. And finally, asylum myth number 8. The United States welcomes the most asylum seekers globally, so, why can't other countries do their fair share? Why are we doing all the heavy lifting? Well, the reality, as of June 2024, 69% of people needing international protection live in countries neighboring their home countries. Just 5 countries, Colombia, Germany, Iran, Pakistan, and Turkey, host almost 40% of all individuals seeking safety. So no, it's not like every asylum seeker is coming to America. Listen, these myths aren't just wrong, they're dangerous. They fuel xenophobia, inspire violence against immigrant communities, and lead to policies that hurt real people. I've seen firsthand how these false narratives can destroy lives and create an environment of fear that makes it harder for people fleeing persecution to find safety. So don't fall for all this stuff, okay? Listen, if you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us right now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's truly an honor to serve you in your asylum journey.